Have a good day.
Modern medication did not work for me. Modern medication did not work for me. Modern medication did not work for me. Modern medication.
Call now. Don't delay. Call today to the Mercy TV call-in show. Your live opportunity to ask medical cannabis questions, to make comments, and otherwise participate in the issue as it happens here in Oregon, across America, and around the world. Greetings. My name is Perry, and along with Sunny, we'll be hosting this segment of Mercy TV Live, where we talk about things like how to get your medical marijuana, or medical cannabis as we say here, how to get your card here in Oregon or wherever you're calling from. We also help folks to find medicine now. That's a big thing, Sonny. We get a lot of contact, communication on that. Of course, that's a short-term fix, and in the long term, folks are looking to get a grower or to grow themselves. And best methods on medicating. How do you make butter? How do you make the cannabis oil? And changes to the, whether the person's making a change,
Right.
they have to change their grower, they're changing their address, things like that, or changes to the system, like the fee reductions that just happened recently, late last year, also adding conditions to the program. And of course, the big change is the medical marijuana facilities that'll be coming online in March. We've had a number of communications about that, both
Excuse
folks.
me, gentlemen.
Yes.
We have a phone call.
Oh, already? How nice. Go ahead, caller.
Hello.
Yes.
Yeah, I was wondering, I heard that Alaska was going to be the next state to have, distribution centers. Is that true?
I'm not sure. I haven't heard about that one in particular. I know that there's going to be like 6 states trying to do dispensary stuff, as well as several states considering legalization as well.
Wow. And what about Oregon? Where's Oregon at on all that?
Well, Oregon's going to have something legislatively, probably going to be voted on by the people in a referendum if Senator Prozansky has his way. Also, there's going to be 2 initiatives that are going to be gathering signatures and trying to get on the ballot as well. So it looks like we'll have 3 chances at legalization in Oregon this year.
Wow. Well, that's a good deal. That only happens with people like you guys getting the word out.
Well, thanks very much. And people like yourself, too. So tell your friends and neighbors and get your copy of the Oregon Cannabis Connection and pass them around.
All right. Well, thank you. Thank you for the information.
Okay. Well, thanks for the call.
Uh-huh.
All right.
In a few seconds, we'll have a second phone call.
Oh, great. Thanks, Peak. Folks, you too can call in at 503-588-6444 with your medical cannabis or cannabis law reform related question, comment, curse, or kudo.
Well, there's a lot of people that just have questions.
We have a caller.
We have a caller.
Okay, go ahead, caller.
Hello.
Yes.
Hi. How are you guys this evening?
We're
Good.
doing fine. Yourself?
Not too bad. I just referred to you to call and I just have a few questions. I'm new to this kind of stuff. Are you available to talk?
Sure.
Well,
go
yeah,
ahead.
any of the questions that you have, that's what the show is for. So please feel free to ask any of the questions that you have, because that's what we do on this show.
Okay. You know what? I can't hear out of my phone. Do you mind if I put you on speaker?
No.
Give it a try. See what happens.
Okay. Hold on. Can you hear me?
We can
Oh,
hear
yeah.
you.
Oh,
Can you hear
yeah.
us?
Okay, perfect. So I can hear 2 voices. Anyway, so I was just calling because I'm interested in some of your medical oils.
The oil? Okay, yes.
And my first question is, am I okay with that as far as the law?
Well, the main thing is this. Like here recently, we had a patient whose doctor signed for their medical marijuana card, and when they went back in and tested negative for cannabis, the doctor quit signing their card and was no longer their doctor because they didn't test positive for cannabis, and it's because she was using it topically.
Oh, so for example, I would like to use it like for scarring on my face, that kind of thing, and it's not going to penetrate into my pores.
Correct. It's not going to make you high. There's no toxicity from it. And as Sonny was saying, you're not going to test positive for using it that way.
Okay. And so when you were saying that they went in to the doctor and they didn't test positive, the doctor quit signing their card, why is that?
Well, the physician in that case determined that the person was not consuming their cannabis and in fact was selling it on the black market.
Oh, okay. Okay, I get it.
Kind of a reverse psychology there. And so it's in that case, it's a lot of education's needed for the medical community there. But good thing for the folks that are like state workers or others that don't need to, that may get tested for that, yeah.
Okay, okay. And so let me ask you this, in order to buy something like that and not be concerned with getting in trouble, how do I go about getting my license for that?
Well, to get your license in Oregon is a matter of having your physician sign the attending physician statement saying that you have the qualifying condition. If your physician won't sign, get copies of your chart notes and bring them down to us at the Mercy Center, and we'll vet them and pass them on to our doctor who comes into town once a month.
Okay, okay. And so with getting a doctor to sign on something like that, what are some of the conditions that they look for? Because I have some conditions and I don't know who, like what kind of doctor to see. Like, for example, I have scoliosis. I have some issues with my hip. What do I need to do? Do I need to provide them with my MRI, or how does that work?
Well, chart notes is the generally accepted form of documentation. Just make sure that on those chart notes they talk about the condition. For example, pain. It sounds like some of the things that you have are causing you pain, and that's a qualifying condition. Make sure the doctor notes that.
Well, the main thing is the pain.
Yeah.
The pain is the issue that's qualifying. All of the conditions and different things you got going on all cause pain. Mm-hmm. And if you have another like nausea from all that
Correct.
stuff they're
Yeah.
giving you, those are the two qualifiers. You just need the chart note from those visits showing the pain visits and the nausea visit.
Okay.
Another thing is also medication that you're taking for your condition. If something causes you nausea, the nausea is the qualifying condition, even though you're not suffering from that originally from the condition, your primary condition.
Well, let me ask you this. I'm just going to be straight up and honest with you. When all this started happening, I went and saw a doctor and then started going to a pain management clinic where they can monitor pain medication for something like that. And so I did that for a couple of years, and what happened was that after a while, I kind of built up an immunity to the pain medication, and it just was like they were going to either prescribe me more or quit prescribing because they couldn't prescribe anymore. And so I completely stopped taking the pain medication. And what's happened is that I have some major stomach problems. I get very nauseous prior to eating. When I do eat, I'm sick after I eat. And at this point, I've tried to consume edibles, and that helps get some food in my stomach, but it also really helps with my nausea. So how do I go about talking to my doctor about something like that? Do I go to a pain management clinic or a regular doctor? How does that work?
Well, a regular doctor can sign for you. we have a packet that we can give to your doctor to educate him on the medical cannabis program here in Oregon. For example, the doctors aren't prescribing here if they're worried about prescribing and getting on the DEA's list. Another thing is that they're not as well educated on the different forms of medicating, like making the oil and applying it topically. So letting them know about that, and that they don't have to worry about the patient being affected by the toxicity. They're not going to get a high, a cop a buzz out of it. Also, I'm sure that the addiction concerns are also way below the scale with that form of applying it. So all these things you talk with the primary care physician about, and they can sign for your card.
Well, how do I find the doctor, though, that is going to be, I guess, already educated or cool with the whole idea or something like that?
Well, that's tough because the individuals that do sign for folks don't usually advertise. Doctors in clinics, it's very hard to find one that's going to sign for you. The clinics are generally opposed to it. Kaiser, a couple of others, for example.
I have Cigna insurance.
Okay. Well, if you're seeing a physician through them as a primary care physician, you just want to get the documentation of your condition there. If they won't sign for you, then you come and see the specialist that we have come into town.
That might be what I have to do because here's my first concern. My primary care physician is my family doctor for my husband and my children. And to be honest with you, I don't feel comfortable talking to him about that.
Okay.
So then maybe I can get a referral or check your website out for your physician or somebody who comes in. Is that right?
Yeah, you just want to get like 3 visits from your primary care physician that you're seeing now. Again, have them make sure they're documenting that condition, be it the nausea or one of the other ones.
Well,
it's both. It's the pain and the nausea. I've lost 33 pounds in 6 months.
Wow.
Because of my nausea and because of how foods react in my tummy now. And I think that was caused from maybe the damage that the medication has caused.
Sure.
I don't know.
Well, and it sounds like you've had this going on for more than a few years, correct?
That is correct.
So really all you need is a chart note from the past 3 years, like, one from 13, one from 12, one from 11, or go one from 12, one from 13, and one from 14. Any of those years covered with one chart note talking about the nausea or the pain. You want them all about the nausea or all about the pain. It doesn't matter either way because both of those will qualify you. And once you get those chart notes, just bring them by the office and we'll get you set up for seeing the doctor, because it sounds like you're way overqualified with all the years of stuff you've been going through. And that's usually what it comes down to, is that cannabis is the last thing that everybody tries and they find out it's what really works. And how come everybody is not using this?
No, you're right. And the first reason why I was interested in it was because my father-in-law passed away. He had cancer. And the one thing that helped him through his chemotherapy and radiation was cannabis. And I remember that. And then I got a referral for someone that I could talk to that is completely legal, legit.
Right.
And so I tried it out with, with my nausea. And then what I discovered was that it also helped with my pain. And so I never went and saw anybody about my nausea, but I'm sure if I went back and they were going to look at my weight, from 6 months ago to now, hopefully that they would take that into consideration as well.
Right.
I don't know.
Well, all those things are important, and they all need to be documented when you go and see these doctors. You just have to say, I'm keeping a track of my record of what's going on. I'd like my chart notes. And they're going to give you a year or 2 years or 3 years. You can bring them by. We'll go through them and figure out what you need, and you'll be way good to go.
Okay. So I've seen 3 different doctors for my pain. I just need to contact them and have them mail me my chart notes and say I just need chart notes for the time that I saw you in regards to what I was prescribed and why I was prescribed that medication,
Well, really,
my pain medication.
you'd really want to just talk to them about, say you're just getting your pain records together. So all of those chart notes, you went to see those doctors for the pain. And you don't need to do all of them. Just one doctor would be fine.
Well, well, here's the thing is that I saw 3 doctors in 3 years, so that would have, I need 3 years, right?
All right, that would
Right,
be
so you
fine.
saw one doctor for 1 year and another doctor
Right.
for 1 year? Okay, yeah, right.
Right.
Well, it sounds like that might be a lot of work, so maybe this last
It's going to
doctor,
be a lot of work, yeah.
the last doctor you're seeing, just go get that doctor because you've seen them 3 times in the past year, correct?
That is correct. I would see them monthly.
So go back and get your past year's records from that particular doctor, which will show that this condition that we're talking is ongoing. That's what is the most important, is that it shows that the condition is ongoing, and that'll allow them to take those chart notes and pick out 3 from the past year, and those will qualify you for your card.
For my card. And
Yes.
so I'd like to get the information about who you were talking about as far as your doctor, who you're recommending. And then I need to provide him with the paperwork, correct?
Well,
And then what are the fees?
the to get the copies of the records, our doctor is Dr. Cindy Cote. That's C-O-T-E with apostrophe above the E there. And the form, if your doctor would sign, which I doubt, I mean, you just
doubt
need the copies of the chart notes, and we'll vet those. The Dr. Cote, the specialist who you'll hopefully going to see, will have the necessary forms to fill out for you.
Okay, and
Yeah.
she'll help me with that?
Yeah.
Okay, and then how, I mean, obviously it's going to cost money to see this Dr.
Oh, right.
Cotain, correct?
Yeah, the Dr. Cote is $200. It shouldn't cost
And
you to
is
get
that
it.
ever covered by insurance?
No, not yet, unfortunately.
Oh, okay, so that's something I got to pay out of pocket.
Right.
Okay, and then I have to get a license or something, is that right?
Yeah, you register with the state, so that's another $200 unless you're on the qualify for reduced fees. And that's if you're on OHP or SNAP program, or you're on SSI.
Guaranteed for the grower.
So I have private insurance through my husband's employer, so I'm not going to use that. I would use, I guess, out of pocket. So it's going to cost me $200 to have her review my chart and give me a prescription for cannabis, correct?
Well, to sign your paperwork saying you have the qualifying condition that you then send into the state, and the state is also another $200, so it's going to cost you about $400 altogether.
400.
Yeah.
Okay. And then my license is another fee?
No, that includes your license. That's
Okay.
$200 for the license.
Okay. 200 for the license to the state, 200 for the doctor.
Right.
And then how often do I have to renew my license?
It's a annual thing, a yearly thing.
And is it another 200?
Yeah, every year.
Okay. And in the interim, do I have to get another chart note from the from my primary
Yeah,
doctor?
unfortunately, yeah. You need to get another primary care chart note and then go see the Dr. Cote again. Only this time she'll charge you only $175. So
Okay.
unless she gives you a
Okay.
break over time.
Well, because you'll be an established patient. Since you're already established, she's just going through the process of seeing that you're still seeing your doctor for that condition, and that in the meantime, she's going to go ahead and establish that she's treating you with cannabis, and that obviously it's working because you're back to renew.
Mm-hmm. And so how do they determine how much I need?
That's kind of depends on the patient's condition and situation. Some folks will take a lighter dosage during the day as opposed to nighttime. That's when a lot of folks take the medibles, as opposed to vaporizing occasionally, or even having it in a tea form during the day.
There's just a lot of ways that you can use it, and you have to find out what works good for you with your schedule throughout the day and throughout the week.
Right. Well, let me ask you this. I am a professional. I have a license through the state to do what I do for a living. How does that work? I mean, am I going to be in trouble?
No, it shouldn't be affected. The program isn't. The only folks who can check into the program is law enforcement. Should you have an encounter, someone coming to your house, they think there's a garden there, things like that. It's not trollable. They don't report anybody signing up with the program to anybody else. So no, there's no risk from that avenue.
Okay. Is it reported to DMV under my license number?
Nope.
So if I get pulled over for whatever reason, driving too
Well,
fast
if law
or whatever.
enforcement pulls you over and they smell it for whatever reason or all, you produce your card to show you're allowed to be in possession. It's advised against medicating while you're driving. So if it was out in that circumstances, or if you appeared overly intoxicated, they may submit you to a sobriety test and may attempt to charge you with DUI-MJ. But
Really?
no one, but they don't report to the DMV. You're not part of that there.
Mm-hmm. And so, do you know what kind of sobriety test they give somebody with cannabis?
It would depend on the circumstances that you're pulled over. If the car is, if you're driving erratically or something like that. But if it's a speeder or something of that nature, it would depend on how they proceeded. The common thing is to give you the standard road sobriety test. There's also something called a DRE, a drug recognition expert, which they'll call in to look you over and determine if you're stoned, I suppose.
Okay, but they would probably make me walk a line, do all that stuff, and not breathe in one of those gadgets, or do both, or what are my
Correct. It
rights?
depends on how well equipped and well educated the cops pulling you over, and again, the circumstances. If your eyes are overly red, your speech and everything is slurred or what have you. If you were driving erratically, things of that nature.
Okay, but it's not something that so I guess what I'm concerned with is if I'm driving and I get pulled over, and of course my vehicle smells like cannabis, and they want to give me a test, are they going to have me blow in that gadget? Does that make a difference where they can test the level of how intoxicated I am?
I'm not clear on the effectiveness of the devices that they're currently advertised as being able to detect cannabis.
Is that an option? Have you ever heard them doing that?
We haven't heard of anyone having that done to them.
The same test as
okay.
alcohol.
That's
Okay.
correct. That's what we're telling them. Thanks.
Okay. No, that's really good to know. So then I need to go to my doctor's. I need to get at least 3 chart notes, correct?
Yes, correct.
Yes.
Okay. Whether it's over 3 years or not, or the last 2 years, it needs to be 3 chart notes with my medical history
Correct.
in regards to my pain and obviously my nausea.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then I know this sounds really funny, but I have a dog, and he has some skin allergies, and he has some scabs right now.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just recently, like I said, I was referred to this topical oil. So I've been putting it on him, on these spots and whatnot. Is that okay?
Sure.
Okay.
Well,
Is my dog gonna
I'm
get
sure
high?
it'll work very effectively for the dog as yourself there. Yeah,
Well,
especially
call us
applied
back.
topically.
Call us back and let us know how it works out.
For sure, for sure. I was going to tell you that I've worked in the beauty industry for over a decade now, and I was getting ready to go buy some new facial cream because I have a lot of acne scars.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just wondering with that oil, and I know this is going to sound funny, but do you think it helps with like the anti-aging and wrinkles and things like that?
It should. I don't see why it wouldn't not. I mean, especially if you mix it with the cream that's already achieving that purpose. I mean, it's a good moisturizer. It's certainly wouldn't do any harm. So, but no,
Okay.
we haven't had a lot of experience yet with folks using it for wrinkles specifically.
I know that sounds funny, but I mean, I'm very interested. I've been using it now for 3 days, and so I took a before picture, and my father, who doesn't pay any attention to beauty and can barely see, I walked over there yesterday, day 2 of using this tropical oil, and he made a remark on how my skin looked, you know. And I thought, well, if he can see it and he noticed the difference and I didn't even say anything, something's working, right?
Yeah, that's true. There's got to be something going on there. Maybe it's just your have a happier face or something like that.
Maybe the fumes got to me.
You're feeling better. Who knows? Yeah.
Right on, right on. Okay, so then how do I get in touch with your doctor? Do I need to look on your website, or because I want to move forward with this? I don't want to be in any kind of legal trouble.
Well, get a hold of those patient records from your regular doctor and either bring them down to us at the Mercy Center, 1745 Capitol Street Northeast. You can fax them to the doc. Do we have the doc's fax number?
Okay.
I think that's on our website. If not,
Okay.
send us an email and we'll get that to you.
Okay, and what is your email address?
Our email is info@mercycenters.org.
.org. Okay. And then at that point, will the doctor also tell me how much I can have on me at all times?
Well, that's something with the state. You're allowed 24 ounces, I believe, as a max.
Okay.
So that's at your home and on your person. You can carry more than an ounce on your person at any one time, is it? Right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I heard somebody say some of that fact, but it is probably a rumor. Do you have a grower yet? Were you planning to grow yourself or get someone to grow for you?
I actually have someone that I know that lives very close to me, old family friend, like family, and they're all legal, legit, and they've been very informative. And so I would go through them only, which brings me to my next question. Is this public information? I mean, if somebody wanted to, I mean, is there like a website where someone can go and say, who has a card?
We're going to shut this show off at
No, it's not
the
put
time.
out to the public. Like I said, only authorized law enforcement can inquire of the department if a card is legal or a grow site is registered.
Okay, so the only people that can look at that is law enforcement and my
Correct.
doctor.
Right.
Okay. Okay. Very cool. Okay, well, I will check out your website. I'll get with my neighbors, talk with them, and move forward with this.
Excellent. Well, be sure to give us a call at the office at 503-363-4588 or visit our website at mercycenters.org if you have any more questions or if you find out something that may be of interest to us.
You want to say anything before I turn it off, Glenn?
Yes, good night.
Good night. God bless you all, every single one of you.